Wow, guys. Well, that was a lot of fun. I think we were...
I hope this is...
It's time for Conan's Reviews, starring my wife Heidi and me, Conan. Alright guys, it's time for part 3, the results.
We'd first like to thank Gary for the Paydirt that we have used in this video.
In part 1, we opened the bags and I picked through it like Heidi normally does to see what that was like. I'll drop a link to that video in here. We found amazing pieces of specimen gold.
And a lot of other pretties.
Oh yeah, some amazing minerals.
For sure.
Definitely worth a watch.
And then in part 2, we used the bucket sluice to run the Paydirt.
That's right. Geo Mining's bucket sluice concentrator did a great job chewing through the dirt. And it's in this video, part 3, the results, where we'll finally get to see how it did. Wow, that's a lot of black sands, guys. This is just from my concentrates from my single run through the sluice. It caught all these black sands and heavy magnetics. You can see there's even pieces of gold floating on top of the black sand. This is going to take me a long time, guys. I'll bring you back, show you what I got. Well, guys, Heidi will be home in a couple hours. Imagine by then we'll have this all panned out. But isn't that beautiful, guys? Worth the time to me.
There it is, guys, all cleaned up. Just need to dry it out and then we can weigh it up. Look at all that gold, guys.
These are my cons from running through the sluice from the Paydirt from Gary. We're going to take this out to the porch and we're going to pan it out and then we'll show you what we've got.
And there's what the bucket sluice caught from Heidi's unclassified Patreon appreciation Paydirt. Look at all that flower gold.
Doesn't it look pretty? Yay! We can see who's got the most gold.
Ooh. I
bet
think
it's you. Yeah.
Alright guys, we panned all the way through the tailings from Heidi's 2 runs through the bucket sluice, and this is what we're left with. So let's go through it and see what the bucket sluice missed. Now remember, this isn't really a test of the bucket sluice so much as a test of how we're using it. Tools have a certain use, and certainly in sluicing dirt there are a lot of factors involved, and so we're testing those factors. Feed rate, materials. If you recall, Heidi used unclassified material but had a relatively slow feed rate. Be careful, really look at this area, see if you see any gold coming out. I know a lot of people say to only do it 3 times, and that's a good idea for beginners. You're gonna have gold here or here, and when you do that, you wanna watch where you're pulling material from. But if you can pull it just right from that lip, odds are really high that's not gonna have anything. Put it back in the pan. That's gonna move all your gold down here, and then you're gonna work it forward. So right in that groove, all your golds, if done right, gonna come together here. Now we all have a favorable side. Mine is this one. I have noticed I tend to collect the gold over on the right side of the pan. Now one way you can counter that, which I actually picked up from Dylan at Miller Prospecting, is a light tap on the hand. Every few shakes, slide it in. I like that a lot better. I had spent hours trying to adjust the angle I was holding it at. That seemed a much better solution. Well gosh, this looks pretty good, guys. You can see the amount of black sands is pretty minimal for the amount of material versus the concentrates from the bucket sluice. Well, I can see one piece right there. Yeah, you guys can see that right there. Wow though, guys. I'm not even seeing the flour. I think that bucket sluice did amazing. Holy cow, look at that. I don't know if it shows up on camera. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Got about 6 colors in the pan. But there was heaps of mustard and flour from the sluice. So I feel like that's a very impressive performance. I'm going to pan through this more carefully. If I find anything significant, I'll bring you back and show you. But then we're going to go through my tailings. If you recall, my feed rate was much higher, although my material was classified. Bring you back in a bit. Alright guys, and so there is what the bucket sluice missed. Don't know if you can make it out, but there are probably about 3 or 4 specks of flour gold there. It's so little, I'm not even going to bother recovering it. We're going to put this back in the dirt for the sloppy seconds.
What an awesome sluice.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. Excited to see if it did as well with my faster feed rate.
Oh, because this was my stuff.
This was yours.
Unclassified.
Yeah, so this was in 2 runs and a slower feed rate.
Right.
And it didn't even miss flour.
That's awesome.
So I don't know what attachment he's looking to design. It seems to catch flour pretty well.
Yeah.
And that was unclassified as well.
Yep. Awesome.
Alright guys, we went through Heidi's tailings from her 2 runs of the unclassified material. This was our single run of the classified material, but we did 2 times as much at once, and we also fed it pretty rapidly, if you recall. I fed the sluice with this guy. If you watch the video, normally filled it up to there and normally put it in pretty liberally. Heidi filled it with a little tiny spoon, very gently going back and forth across the sluice. So we're gonna see if there are more losses to be found here, which I think there will be. First, this dirt has sat for a couple days while we went camping. Let's get it wet. A little jet dry.
Right in there?
Yeah, right in there.
Right on the dirt.
Right on the dirt.
All right.
That way you don't get any floating gold right away. And we're gonna, at some point, give this a bit of a mix.
That's smart. I would not have thought to put it directly on the...
Yeah, directly on the dirt. You can of course pre-mix your water, but I don't like 5 steps. I like 1 step. Look at all that pyrite. Now while I poured it, you saw all the pyrite. I watched the lip right up here to make sure I don't see something that moves into the shadow and still looks yellow. I think we're all set up here. I'm gonna pan it down in this, and just like Miller Prospecting, put what we're left with in here, and then we'll get this pan down a little bit, bring you back, show you what we find. Alright guys, wanted to bring you back for the last pan, show you how we've been doing this. This is what we're left with.
Hold on. Whoop. Squirt bottle malfunctions. The struggle is real.
Alright.
Pretty good.
Looks nice and clean. All right, let's get this in the pan. And that's what we're left with. Let's pan this down a bit. We'll bring you back. All right, we're getting down to the black sands, so you can see quite a bit more black sands in the tailings from my run than from Heidi's 2 runs. We'll bring you back, show you when we get this mountain of black sands worked down. All right, guys, we're getting down to it. Wanted to bring you back, show you the last little bit. Got our one piece of gold right there. But guys, that looks like really all it missed. I've watched 3, maybe 4 questionable pieces roll down, but fairly confident most of those were mica. There's a piece right here. Doesn't really look metallic. It could be gold, but think it's mica. And there is one piece of mustard gold right up there in the corner. A little bit out from it. Don't know if you guys can make that out on camera or not yet. And you got it, guys. That's what the sluice missed out of my run. I fed it through very aggressively. We can see maybe 3 to 5 fly poops in this area. Again, it may be mica. This slightly larger piece as it dries off, I am positive that one's mica. But we do have one very tiny flake. Now I am relatively sure that that is going to be less than 1/1000th of a gram. So while we're not gonna weigh that, we're gonna consider our loss test for the second run passed for sure. That's gonna be definitely less than 1% of the total gold weight and 99% recovery rate. Parker would be thrilled with that. Anybody would be thrilled with that. So yeah, pretty good. All right, guys. Well, we got the gold Heidi found picking through it, and the gold I found picking through it, and the gold the sluice found in Heidi's unclassified material, and the gold I found in my classified material. A little bit of black sand still in there. We'll call that 0.569. And you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and put our single piece of gold that the bucket sluice concentrator missed on the scale and see if it moves it at all. Okay, so I was correct. It looks like that single very tiny piece of gold is insufficient to move the scale. So that means our loss rate was less than 0.1%.
That's pretty good. And the sluice is fun to use.
Here we got Heidi's gold. Let's get it weighed up, huh?
Time to weigh my gold.
Well, I never get tired of that sound. Takes a surprising amount of time to get it all out.
Ooh, look at all the pretty gold.
Here's the gold from Heidi's sluice run. Let's see what it weighs. Calling it 0.208. So I guess we were both right. Yeah.
You had the more gold.
I had more gold.
Yep.
Haha. Well, I don't think there's anything left to do but to show off some of what we got here. I did want to point out this is the spoon Heidi fed her dirt through. So you can see my size estimate there was pretty much right on.
A lot of beautiful pretties in this Paydirt. So one last time, thank you very much, Gary.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. Some really amazing pieces. That's pyrite right there.
I have to say, I think these are my two favorites.
Wow, yeah, those are amazing.
And I know just the little table to put them on. So these are going to go on display. Just beautiful.
Some of these crystals look pretty amazing. I'm not even sure what they are. I assume this is a quartz crystal terminator. Really pretty stuff.
Yeah, just wow. Too many things to show.
Just a pile of quartz.
There's just a
Wow.
lot of stuff in it. This one's pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
And all so interestingly unique.
See the vein of ore running through that. This was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that is very pretty too.
Definitely looks like the sort of rock you find gold in. And of course, the gold!
The gold.
Wow, guys. Well, that was a lot of fun. I think we were really impressed by our bucket sluice concentrator.
Yes, we were. And it was a lot of fun to use and easy to use.
Yeah, it wasn't too tricky to get it set up.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this 3-part series. We know it was a lot, but we figured it was the best way to put it out there. Until next time, guys. Bye!
Bye, guys.
You can't use any of this footage for anything.
That was perfect.